Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. Pastor Josh here with your last Christmas devotional. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'm thinking Christmas means that this year is almost over. We can breathe a sigh of relief because the biggest gift of all to some of us is that 2020 is coming to an end. This year has been emotionally, physically, spiritually draining. We've been through everything from a pandemic and coronavirus to racial and political tension to schools and businesses closing, jobs being lost. All of our meetings have gone online through a camera and we can't see our friends and family, and it's just been a really draining year. And I don't know if you're like me, but when I find myself emotionally, spiritually, and physically drained, I find myself living on the basis of my feelings instead of on my faith. Which means I'll do anything I can not to be feeling emotionally, spiritually, physically drained. I'll be doing whatever I can to avoid feeling tension, feeling uncomfortable. And the problem then becomes that if we base our faith on our feelings, we'll be feeling a life without faith. Now, let me use the Christmas story to kind of paint you a picture of what I'm talking about. Because we're all going to have this choice going into 2021 of living on the basis of our faith or on our feelings, which is the same choice that four groups of people in the Christmas story had. So let's look at those four people. Number one, we had Mary. Now we meet Mary, and Mary's a virgin. She's pledged to be married. She, to this point, has lived a pretty good, easy life. But she gets visited by the angel and gets hit with something completely unexpected. Kind of like we did this year a number of times. And instead of Mary maybe doing what a lot of us would have done, which is like, nah, that's not for me. I'm not carrying the Son of God. I'm supposed to be a virgin. I'm supposed to be pledged to be married, right? We could have made all of these excuses, and Mary could have went off and said, this isn't for me. I'm running from this. I'm protesting it. I'm done. I don't want to do it. But Mary, instead of acting on the impulse of her feelings, acted out in faith and said that I am God's servant and that she would be the mother of the Son of God. Now, let's bring it to Joseph. Joseph was now facing something very unexpected, similar to you and I this year. He was all of a sudden pledged to be married to this virgin who was carrying the Son of God. And so now he's on this weird episode of Maury where he ends up being the stepfather. And he could have said, like many people do on Maury, like, I'm out. See you later. I'm done. I don't want any part of this. But Joseph gets visited by an angel that says, you will have this son and you will name him Jesus. He will be the savior of the world. And so Joseph, after getting visited by that angel, could have just said, nah, it's not for me. This is too much. This is too much. He could have acted on the basis of his feelings, but instead he acted on the basis of his faith. Now, fast forward the story, baby Jesus is born in a manger, and angels are rejoicing, and so they're going out and they're rejoicing and they're saying, we have good news, it's going to cause great joy, and they go to the shepherds. Now, the shepherds were busy, they were at work, they had stuff to get done, but the angels visited them and said, there's a savior, he's been born, you have to come see. And the shepherds didn't say, no, we have too much work to do, we have too much going on, I'm not feeling it right now. But they acted in faith and they followed the angels to where Jesus was born. It's the same thing with the wise men. The wise men probably didn't feel good about traveling so far on foot and bringing these big, expensive gifts to Jesus, but they acted on the basis of faith. This is what I'm trying to say to all of you. If we're going to go into 2021, we're going to have to go in on the basis of our faith instead of on our feelings. Because if we always just listen to our feelings, sometimes our feelings lie to us. Because sometimes our feelings go after the path of least resistance. Sometimes our feelings go on the path of comfort. Sometimes our feelings would rather go around the valley of the shadow of death than through it with God. And so I want to encourage you today, go into 2021 on the basis of faith, that this year is going to be a good year, that God is going to move this year, that God is going to grow you, that God is going to do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine. And that's my prayer for each and every one of you. And my prayer is that you don't miss that opportunity, that you don't miss that opportunity to live in 2021 on the basis of faith instead of on feelings. And as a last plug, I don't want you guys to miss the opportunity to be a part of a brand new church that's going to be starting in a post-pandemic world. And so I want to invite you not to miss walking in faith into this new church that we're starting this year. And so if you're interested at all at being a part of a brand new church plant in a post-pandemic world that's delivering the hope, love, and transformational power of Jesus, I want to talk to you. And so get in touch with us. But for now, I'll leave you guys with this. Merry Christmas and a happy, faith-filled New Year.